same bat game, same bat YouTube
channel.
Yeah, but there had to be a climate where something like Dark Knight Returns would actually be interesting to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there definitely was a lot going on.
Because when I look at the history, what I see more is that what the Dark Knight Returns represents is taking Batman seriously as a literary figure.
Yeah.
Because it's an epic, hugely epic story.
Yeah.
You know, Batman isn't just a villain of the week or villain of the month, guy that runs around and fights crime. It's like Batman represented something very specific to Frank Miller, and he used him as a literary figure to get a very specific message across.
Yeah.
And so that's why it makes sense to me that it's like, that changes how people view comic books in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But the darkness, there's some pretty psychologically dark stuff going on in Batman in the 70s and the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
In the early 80s, like pre-Miller. And I don't hate Frank Miller. I'm not one of these people that complains that Frank Miller, too much Frank Miller Batman.
But what wasn't happening before the 80s was the idea of taking Batman and putting him in a story that has a beginning, middle, and an end.
Right.
You know, because before that it was just everything was a continuing with week or monthly comics. So
well, and that's why the Dark Knight Strikes Again is so frustrating to me. Not that we have to go super deep into this, but one of the reasons that's frustrating to me is I don't actually think it's that bad. A lot of people hate it, and it's bad in that it's stupid.
Right.
It's a silly comic book, but it's actually fun to read, I think. The reason it's so frustrating is because The Dark Knight Returns has an ending. Mm-hmm. A really satisfying ending to me.
Yeah.
And so the fact that there's a sequel is just frustrating for that reason. And the fact that the sequel seems to almost have nothing to do with the amazing ending of Dark Knight Returns makes it even more frustrating. Like if he had just written a book about this crazy underground bat society and really gone all in on that, but he actually just wrote another Batman comic book where it's still the weird future, but a different kind of weird future, and so. But I think you're right. I think that it's the beginning. And that's another reason why Nolan's thing is so radical and why I think The Dark Knight Rises upsets so many people. There's multiple reasons Dark Knight Rises upsets people.
Right.
But one of them is because Christopher Nolan was trying to construct an ending to the character he created in Batman Begins.
Where do we go?
Oh, turn your detective vision on.
Nope. There we go.
And
purple. Is that alcohol? What's that?
No. So those are walls that can be blown up with one of your gadgets.
Okay.
So how do you access your gadgets? I'm not holding the controller, so I can't.
I don't know.
There you go.
Woohoo!
Oh, that's a very Nolan grappling gun.
Is it?
Looked like it. Looked like kind of like the little gun handle thing.
What I wonder is where does he keep all this stuff? I mean,
It's
he can't
behind.
actually behind the cape.
It's like you got the cape, and then I assume it's just all in the back there, because you can't fit any of that in those
cryptic
pouches.
symbols. You got to hold it. You got to get closer. There you go.
Oh.
Beetle. What's with the beetle? Is that a reference to the Grant Morrison thing?
Oh.
It's the spirit of Arkham.
Yeah, Amadeus Arkham. So in Morrison's thing, Amadeus walks in on his mother going insane and beetles falling out of her mouth.
Oh.
And then he talks about what the beetle means.
Okay. See, I forgot about that, but yeah, that's probably what that would be referencing. Yeah, I thought there would be text there, but I guess I didn't get to close out of it.
Actually, I can read you what the beetle means.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, did you bring it?
Yeah. Oh, here's something. Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, let's do a reading from Arkham Asylum while he's fighting these thugs.
Here we go. Yeah, see, there's the beetle creepily falling out of the mouth. Here we go. Many years later, when I became aware of the significance of the beetle as a symbol of rebirth, I realized that she was simply trying to protect herself from something in the only way that made sense to her.
Wow.
So his mother was eating beetles because they mean rebirth.
Now, I'm sure that comes up in the story. I've played this a few times and I've never actually listened to every single Arkham audio thing in a row. Maybe we can do that in another video and kind of dissect it then when we get all of them.
Yeah. What's up with that?
But that is kind of the story that comes together is how madness affected the Arkham family.
Mm-hmm. Which is cool.
Yeah.
Well, I like, we've talked about this before, but Batman Earth 1.
Right.
I love that Batman has Arkham lineage.
Yeah. His mother is Martha Arkham.
Yeah.
Which the reason that's important is because in the Batman mythos, the Arkham family, not just because of the asylum, but has always been associated with mental illness.
Mental illness, yeah.
And so it's kind of this thing that's kind of seen in the society in the like elites of Gotham that Bruce Wayne is going to have mental issues and insanity because of his mother. Yeah, I really like the way they.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Well, and that's why part of me thinks that Earth 1 would actually be an interesting reboot.
See, he can see the guns there.
Yeah, that's handy. Is that Oracle?
Yeah. Is this the first time we've heard her?
I miss Oracle. She's gone now in the new 52.
He just explained how he did it. He could calibrate whoever is holding a gun so that they show up on his radar as being significant threats.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I forgot that they did that.
I think I've played this part of the game before.
Oh, really?
I think so. Somewhere. Maybe at your house in Virginia or something.
Yeah, probably.
Somebody let you borrow it. Yeah, I miss Oracle.
Oh, you got to sneak up on him.
Is that alcohol?
That would be the Y button, yeah. They, of course, cannot hear muffled bone cracking right behind them. They're just standing there looking in one direction.
Well, he is a ninja.
That's true.
Well, maybe he's not a ninja. I don't know if he's a ninja in this.
Of course,
continuity.
he's a ninja. He's Batman.
Batman's always a ninja.
That'd be a great story to do as a Batman who wasn't a ninja.
Well, I think that's kind of what
really
Earth 1 is.
Yeah.
Earth 1 is basically like, what if Batman was never trained by anybody?
What if Batman was clumsy?
Yeah, he was just this goof in a stupid suit trying to cope with his mental illness. Which is actually also kind of what Tim Burton's first Batman is.
Yeah, that's true too.
Mark Hamill's Joker. So when I read the Joker in comic books, I just read it with Mark Hamill's Joker voice.
Who is your Batman voice?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Mine. I think I kind of read Batman differently sometimes, and that's why I can get annoyed. Because my favorite, I like Batman when he as a character is dark and mysterious and emotionally stunted and frustrating. Mm-hmm. And so that's why sometimes Snyder's Batman to me is a little too, relatable.
Yeah.
And so Snyder's Batman, I read, so if we're talking, actors, it's like Channing Tatum or something.
Right.
And that, bothers me. Then in my brain, that's what I think of.
I always read it with Seth Rogen's voice.
GameForBrains.